All right, y'all. So I want to introduce myself, man. My name is Travar Sterling. I'm out here in the DFW area. I recently started a agency called SWA. So we're gonna go over a few topics today, see how we guys can help you out. And again, also too, I appreciate you guys for coming. If you could share this video, this will help our company a lot. We definitely want to be able to help the people of the world change their life financially, emotionally, physically, so we can all be happy, right? So as you can see, 40% of Americans, they didn't file taxes in 2024. This is a problem because this can cause people to get more in debt. And when you look in the world today, there's over 77% of Americans that's in debt. I looked up the statistics about a week ago. It could be more, but this also is based off 2024. So when I started this agency, I partnered with the Alliance and I started this agency, but I wanted to be a little bit bigger than just life insurance. I wanted to build something that can also impact those who have autoimmune diseases, which you're gonna get into a little bit later. So when we look and see, I'm sure like when you talk to somebody, you at least wanna know who they are. So again, my name is Travar. Who am I? This is me right here. Travar Sterling, man. I'm from Illinois, Champaign-Urbana in Illinois. It's about 2.5 hours away from Chicago. And I recently moved down here to Dallas, Texas about 10 years ago. People telling me now I'm a Texan. I would never be a Texan, by the way. I'm okay. So this right here, this is my family. I met my wife a year later. And by the way, she asked me to get married. It's kind of crazy, ain't it? I've never heard of a woman asking a man to get married before. But we here. And honestly, I wouldn't change it for nothing because I was able to learn a lot from my wife, me having a family, and also me jumping into business like this. Because previously I had a friend that jumped into this business, that brought me into this business. But my cause and purposes were completely different from his, which we're going to dive into a little bit. So again, these are my two kids right here. It's my beautiful wife. And this is me, always live as always. So this SWA, it stands for Sterling's Wealth Allies of Dallas. So if you out here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we definitely want to be able to service you in some kind of way. The reason why I named it Sterling's Wealth Allies of Dallas is just simply because I want you guys to use us as an ally. We want to be able to help you financially from A all the way down to Z. Because there are so many people in the world that is struggling financially and they also want to grow their wealth too. So the question is, how are we going to be able to do that? Then what is our mission and our goal? Our mission and our vision and our goal, number one, is to find a cure for autoimmune diseases. So there's many people in the world that have autoimmune diseases and a lot of people have been suffering from them. It causes their family to also lose a lot of things such as their cars, their homes, and even their family members because there's not enough research out there to help people in these types of situations. So we want to provide grant money to scientists, doctors, so that they be able to find cures for these autoimmune diseases because most of the money that's being spent is being spent towards finding treatments for cancers and AIDS and different things like this, but there's not much research on these autoimmune diseases. They barely even understand how we even get autoimmune diseases. But pretty much an autoimmune disease is just something that your body is overreacting to something in your body. And if it doesn't find anything, it'll start attacking itself. So because of this actually affects organs and different things like that in your body. So our mission is to provide grant money for those who actually suffer from an autoimmune disease and also find a cure for those who have autoimmune diseases. Number two, we want to help Americans get out of debt. We're going to show you guys how we're actually going to do that. And also too, we want to make a better life for you and your family. So the question is, how are we going to accomplish all of these things? As I said before, this is our mission and also our vision. So with SWA, when you look in the world today, the United States of America recently just shut down. This isn't the first time the government shut down and thousands of people was laid off. But this time it's a little different because now that the government has shut down and that over thousands of people has lost their job. I know someone personally go to my church and he worked for the government and he was one of the ones that was laid off that was on the list. I'm not too sure if you suffer from something like this, but there's people out there that is. So if the government is shut down, what do you think is also going to happen to those who are on food stamps? They're actually going to take food stamps from people who actually rely on these things. When they take 42 million people's food stamps, what do you think is going to happen to their household? How are they going to be able to provide for their family? How are they going to be able to eat? How are they going to be able to continually survive if the government is shut down and they're solely dependent on the assistance from the government? So for us, we want to be able to help people realize what you can do, what systems you can put in place in order for us not to be bothered by the government being shut down. And there's businesses that's out there, which we're going to get into a little bit about later. So the debt to income ratio is a problem in America, and it's a significant concern with the total household debt reaching 18.2 trillion by 2025. Obviously, this statistic came out last year. And what this means is debt to income ratio is that there are more people in debt than they have income. So in other words, people have more debt than they have income. What do you think that does for a person who's trying to survive in the world right now? That will actually continually keep them in debt because they're not making enough income. But there's other businesses and other plans out there that will help them get out of debt. Then what are some of these plans? So the other part of it is out here in the state of Texas, it is said that the income that's needed for a single adult in 2025 is $90,000. This is just for one person, just to survive. So concerning the matter of you need $90,000 just to be comfortable for one person is actually crazy. It's insane. So what do you think that you need for a two-parent household? Obviously, you need $180,000. This is still barely keeping up with inflation that's going on throughout the world. And especially because the government is shut down, people is continually losing money because Trump put out all these different types of tariffs. They're stopping stuff from coming in from China, Japan. People is constantly living like this and they don't even realize how much they're being affected just because they're living a day in and day out life relying on the services from the United States of America. So SWA want to be able to help change people's lives by providing solutions for them so that they will not suffer and stuff like this. So when you see here, obviously there are different types of generations in the world. And the biggest question is people say, oh, wow, why do I don't have money? Some of the biggest reasons why people don't have money, there's a book that I read, it's called The Psychology of Money. And in this book, it explains that when they created lottery tickets and people gambling, and I'm not against any of these things. That's not my business. That's definitely up to you guys, right? But when you gamble, it actually gives people hope for instant riches, but the odds are kind of overwhelming because how many people do you know in your life win a lottery? And how often do you, when you apply for the lottery, how often do you win? Most winners are slim to few. And they still end up in debt because they never was able to learn how to manage this type of money. They never had much money before. So when this took place, this is the reason why actually people's money is actually continually going down and they're putting themselves more and more in debt. So there's speculative investing without research. What this means is that people, they make investments into certain things and they're not putting their money in the right vehicles. But there are right vehicles out there. There's people out there that's trying to get rich. There's people that just want to rely on luck or an inheritance. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with an inheritance at all. There's people out there that's actually chasing fame and social media. You know how much depression that is associated with social media? people who post photos, they're looking for someone to comment on them. They're looking for someone to say, oh, they look cute. Oh, I want to live that kind of lifestyle. The more and more you utilize social media for the wrong reasons is the reason why America is constantly going through not just debt, because people spend money on apps, games, cell phones, new technology, when you don't even have to upgrade your technology every single year. All they did was just change the face of the technology, but the technology worked the same. So people is constantly putting themselves in debt because they're investing in the wrong things. And I'm sure that if you were able to put some money to the side, you'll be able to grow wealth in a different way, which we're going to talk about soon. So when you see here, there's some people who put their money in stocks, bonds, money in savings accounts. So this is a Roth IRA and also an IUL. This is just an example so you guys can understand that concerning the products that people try to use in order for them to grow wealth, grow money, or get rich, or take care of their family, people don't understand the risks when it comes to using specific products. Then what are some of the risks of using a Roth IRA? A Roth IRA is something is more like an investment. It's like a retirement plan. So concerning this retirement plan, there are definitely advisors out there that can advise you to put your money in specific stocks and bonds, but that's not my job. I'm not an advisor from that standpoint. I work in life insurance, so I'm more so on this green line right here. This red line right here continues to go up and it continues to go down. So meaning that you can gain money, but you also can lose money too. But concerning this green line, the IUL that has a 0% floor will actually protect you from any losses. You can gain, but also your money can stay the same if the interest rate does not go up and it goes below, and it doesn't go below zero because of that 0% floor. So an IUL, which is a product that, you know, most people talk about by becoming your own bank, is some of the most biggest things that we actually utilize here in the company and help people set up. But there's other opportunities as well. So concerning the matter, would you rather have your money to go up and go down, or would you rather have your money to stay stagnant and have the potential to keep growing? Personally, I would rather for my money to either stay stagnant or continue to keep growing rather than me losing money. And concerning a Roth IRA, you have to qualify for a Roth IRA, meaning if you make more than $150,000, you cannot be qualified for a Roth IRA. But for an IUL, if you want to continue to keep growing your wealth and growing your money and putting your money in these different places, then an IUL is definitely the best bet for you. However, I'm not here to tell you what's best for you. What I'm here to do is help you identify what you want to accomplish, why you want to accomplish it, and help you get you there. That is the reason why it's Sterling Wealth Allies of Dallas. So out here in the DFW area, we want to help people many different ways. And how do we do that? We help people with budgeting. We want to be able to be an ally for you to take care of your taxes at the end of the year versus you wondering who's going to take care of your taxes. We want to be able to be that ally for you. So we want to help you build a budget. The reason why we want to help people build budgets is because even myself over time and even over the years, I sucked at budgeting my money. So I want to help other people budget their money so that they will be able to take care of their needs, their wants, and if they want to make investments, they be able to also see all this on the chart. That's what the benefit of a budget is. When you see here, we also help people with resumes, meaning that if you were trying to go out and go get a job, we're not just going to use ChatGPT. Primarily those who use ChatGPT, the employers, they know if you use ChatGPT or not because they've seen the exact same platform, the exact same method, the exact same format every single time in the exact same verbiage. So instead of us using just ChatGPT, yeah, we may utilize ChatGPT. We're just not going to use it to build a resume. And we're going to also look into the industry that you're actually trying to get into and make a resume built on that, what they're looking for. We'll call them, what you guys looking for this type of position, and put everything that you need on a resume based on what you've had in the past. So we can do a consultation for that as well. Also, we help people with trusts. So people put their businesses, their cars, all these different types of things, their houses in trust. Why is a trust so important? When you put your assets inside of a trust, your assets is actually protected from the United States of America. Meaning if you were to die or something like that, The United States will typically take it if you don't have any beneficiaries, if it's not inside of a trust, and it's going to take months in order for you to get your assets to your family after you dead and gone. So if it's inside of a trust typically, you need just two things. One, you have to pay a fee. That fee is anywhere between $3,000 to $10,000, depending on the amount of assets that you have. And also, that trust is good forever. Like, it never expires. That trust is always good, and it'll be managed by a lawyer during that time. It's almost like a will. And also, too, at SWA, we are insurance brokers. Okay, we're not a brokerage. We're under a brokerage, which is called the Alliance. So the Alliance is partnered with the Integrity Group, which is one of the biggest insurance companies in the world. And as a brokerage, we have access to so many different types of insurance companies. And I'm sure that you've seen some of these companies before, like Allstate, Americo, Mutual Omaha, the list go on. The reason for these companies is so that in case a person is unable to be approved for one product, there's other products that you can be approved for because the other companies have different stipulations. So with that being said, then what types of policies are out there to help people either grow wealth, to help change their life, to help even be able to make more money? So there's something that's called a term life, a whole life, and also an index, which is an IUL, which most people refer to that as become your own bank. So a term life insurance policy, people between the ages of 30 and 55, they pay anywhere from $30 to $200 a month for at least $5,000 to $200,000 of death coverage. Meaning, if they come to die, their family can get paid out whatever the death benefit is. Let's say it's $200,000. Their family will be paid out $200,000 if they actually come to die within 30 years. The problem for me is that this policy expires after 30 years. Meaning, if you get this at the age of 30 and your policy is anywhere between $200-$300 a month, it's going to be double that because now you twice as old. Make sense? So how does an insurance agent, an insurance broker, how do they get paid off a term life insurance policy that they signed up for somebody? The way that they get paid, let's do an example, okay? $100 a month times 12, which is 12 months in a year. They pay $1,200 inside of this term life insurance policy. And you, as an insurance agent, is at a 45% comp level. You would get paid $540 directly from the insurance company. How long do you think it's going to take you to make $540? Most people say a week, 2 weeks, just to make $540. This is one person that got the insurance agent paid directly from the insurance company. Again, at SWA, we do not collect money from the clients themselves. We receive money directly from the IMO and the insurance companies. The insurance companies pay the IMO pay us. This is how we get paid. So again, another example, whole life. Whole life is something that's good for your whole life. Makes sense? So again, same example. People typically between the age of 30 to 55, they pay anywhere between $50 to $500 a month for $5,000 to $500,000 worth of coverage. This covers your whole life in case you die. That $500,000 goes directly to your family. How do you think that's going to change your family once all your income is gone if they solely relied on your income? So then how does an insurance agent get paid when they sell a policy like this? For an example, if a person pays $200 a month for 12 months, they pay into the whole life insurance policy for that whole year $2,400. And the insurance agent that's at a comp level of 45%, they get paid $1,080. That's for one person. Imagine doing this for 5 people in a day. Imagine doing this for 10 people in a day, 10 people in a week. How do you think this will change your life? So concerning the matter of What field you want to go in is completely up to you. My job is to help you get to where you want to go. That's why we allies. So concerning an IUL, an Index Universal Life Insurance Policy, same example, a little different terms though. So a person who buys an IUL, an Index Universal Life Insurance Policy, ages between 30 to 55, paying $50 to $500 per month, between $5,000 and $500,000 worth of coverage. It's either covers your entire life or to the age of 109. How do agents get paid off of this? The agents get paid off of this. If they pay $500 a month for 12 months, that's $6,000 a year. And at a 45% comp level, that's $2,700 for one person that's paying $500 a month. Tell me how long it's going to take you guys to make $2,700. Imagine making $2,700 in one day, 1 hour, just because you talk to a few people. And honestly, it's not about us going out and selling people. We're literally just educating them, letting them know what's available to them. And IUL also allows you to borrow against your own money. Then how do you borrow against your own money? What does this actually mean? Most people use the term become your own bank, okay? An IUL has two buckets. It has a death benefit. So if you bought an insurance policy that was $500,000, that's your death benefit. Then also it has another bucket, which is called a cash value policy, a cash value bucket. In the cash value bucket, that's the bucket that actually grows. This is the bucket that can actually change your life. It's because the more and more money you put inside of this cash value policy, you'll be able to borrow against this money tax-free. The reason why it's tax-free is because if the interest rate is at 10%, according to $100,000, let's say you have $100,000 in there and the interest rate at the end of the year is 10%. That means you make $10,000 on top of the money that you have that already sitting in there. You can ask and request, I want to borrow $100,000. You don't have to apply for it because you have the collateral that's in the policy already. So you can borrow against this money over time to use it for vacation, go buy a car, go buy a house, and go do all these different types of things, put your kids through school, and never have to pay that money back. And if you don't pay that money back and then you die, they just take it from your death benefit and send the rest of the $400,000 to your family when you die. But when you say that $400,000 is still enough to take care of your family after you gone, but why is it that people today are unable to realize that this type of business structure is the business structure that actually changed the baby boomers that was affected with much poverty? Because years ago, between 1946 until the 1990s, there was something called the generation of baby boomers. And the baby boomers, the reason why these baby boomers are considered to have old money is because their parents and their ancestors, they invested in products like this. So rather if they was a broker or not, they was able to still change their family life because they put money in a secured vehicle, which means a secured product that can never lose. The reason why these products can never lose is because once you put money inside of an insurance policy, these insurance companies, they have to have a reserve of that same amount of money in somewhere else in the reserves, in the insurance departments. Meaning that if you were actually to lose money in some kind of way, they have to give you that money back. So at SWA, we do two things here. The most bread and butter that we typically do here, we help people with their insurance policies, help them identify why they need it, what they need it, how much they need, and help them get it. And because we're a broker, I'm a broker, and the rest of the people that work with me are brokers, we be able to search the market to see what actually will benefit you the most. The problem is with insurance agents today, and I'm not speaking on the behalf of all of them, I'm just saying some of them try to put you in the wrong plans, and even in plans that you probably won't even need. I would never be the one to say never get a Roth IRA. I believe that you should put your money in multiple different vehicles, multiple different places. That way your money can continue to keep growing. So if you want your money to continue to keep growing and you want to get into something like this and see how your life can actually change, this is the reason why you guys need to either set up a time to speak to one of our reps, even myself. We can set up an appointment. That way you'll be able to see what's actually available for you. And we can see how we can help you. It doesn't mean you have to just go ahead and get a life insurance policy, but even though a life insurance policy can change your life and break generational curses, but there's other services that we have that we be possibly able to help you with. And I know for one thing that you always have to do every single year, you definitely always have to file your taxes. You don't file your taxes, there's fines with these things, and they can also garnish your wages. So allow us to be an ally for you. So there's 2 questions you need to ask yourself. 1, are you satisfied with the way that your life is? And number 2, what are you going to do to change it? So these 2 questions are answered based on what your needs and your purposes actually are. Once you are able to identify these 2 questions, you'll be able to make a decision. So I'm going to put a link inside of my bio on my YouTube page, and you'll be able to set a time to speak to one of our reps or even myself, and then we can go over to see how we can actually help you, rather if it's through trusts, rather if it's doing your taxes this year, whatever tax questions you have. I can get you linked up with somebody, even in the industry, a little bit more detailed, even more than me. And also I can get you linked up with anybody that need resumes, get you linked up with anybody that needs to build a budget plan for themselves to change their life. But just know, we want to be allies for you for life. So I appreciate everybody for joining this webinar. I'm going to continue to keep doing these webinars. Obviously, this is one of my first webinars, and I appreciate anybody that do watch this video. I just ask that you like, comment, and share this video. That way other people will be able to find value too. So one last thing, with the Alliance, as an insurance broker, there's so many trainings. The Alliance is so fun. The Alliance, they actually also do paid trips, meaning if you produce the amount of value of insurance for people, helping these families, they're going to do a paid trip for you in 2026. So every year they go out and do a paid trip for you. You can bring a family member with you to go on a paid trip. This is how the Alliance can change your life. So out here in the DFW area, as an insurance agent under the Alliance, when I began building my brand, these are some of the things I want to do with my brand. I want to go out and do team suppers, all paid on me. I also want to go do bowling outings. Also, I want to be able to start doing walkathons. The purpose of the walkathon is that we can actually promote good health and wealth. And also, too, we also have a vendor called Meal Prep. It's the #1 in DFW. He's a buddy of mine. He does meal prep, and I'll leave the link in the bio as well for you in case you want to have some type of meal prep be sent to you directly. This meal prep is done for you. So you can get up to 90 meals a month already prepared for you and delivered directly to your door. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Please comment, share, subscribe if you've never been to this channel before. That way our business can continue to grow and we can continue to keep helping more people. Blessed journeys.